Hello and welcome to the Chilled Cardano podcast. I am Illinois and this is my co-host Chilled Cardano on Twitter. Mike, how are you doing today? I'll call you Mike. That's how I know you.
We met on Twitter, so I'd prefer Chilled Cardano. Yeah, I'm doing good today, Eric. You know, the markets are pumping. Feeling good, feeling great. Is it the beginning of a new bull run, Eric? Tell me what you see.
I'm still surprised because we saw the S&P pump this week, but then like we don't see the same kind of burst, from crypto. So I'm just wondering when we're gonna get that like big pump. We've kind of had like the slow grind upward, So
yeah,
the S&P, like it looks beautiful, right?
Oh yeah,
like big green dildos, right?
Oh yeah, baby.
But then you look at Bitcoin and it's just kind of like what? It's kind of flat, it's
right.
grinding upward, but so I don't see the same like velocity on the moves. And Cardano looks almost the exact same. The only thing that's kind of pumping is Ethereum, which we don't really like to talk about.
Well, we can talk about it.
But they have like a narrative, like the merge. And I think a lot of people are jumping or are already into the Ethereum bandwagon, like they have something going, whereas Bitcoin doesn't really. And
have a narrative.
Yeah. And Cardano should, but we haven't seen the same kind of, we're not on the same kind of roll, I guess. But I think it's coming. I'm still happy about the price action in general, though.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not going any further than we did a couple months ago or weeks, where we were dabbling with 41 cents.
Yeah.
So we're creating some type of bottom in this market, and I think the news is pretty positive. I mean, we talked about this last week, but the BlackRock news, where institutions are with trillions of dollars have the potential to buy spot exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum, and to a lesser extent Cardano. I think that is a very bullish case for older money to come in, and even if they don't believe in it, I think most of them are very savvy investors, and they understand that they might be wrong. So usually you'll put like 1% to 5% of your portfolio into a new venture like crypto, where it's like, I don't understand this, but I understand there's money to be made, and I want a piece of that, And it's like, as they're here longer and longer, that 1%, that 5% that they put in starts to grow more, and they start to see that maybe that's moving a lot faster than, your legacy tech or commodities or your housing market. So you start to put more in, right? You start to put 10%, 15%, maybe even 20, and the more riskier types might put more. And I just think that if you're here now in 2022, it's just like, you'll look back in 5 years, as we get closer to 2030, and be like, wow, that was where it really started. And that's where a lot of people put a lot of money in.
Yeah. We'll see. You do have to look at that, like the long time ranges for this kind of stuff. Cause like on the day to day, it seems like sometimes it seems like nothing's happening. But when you zoom out, as they say, you can really see like the long term price movements. Hopefully we're breaking out of that like giant downtrend. This guy. It's very scary to look at. But there's another thing I want to talk about that I haven't discussed in a while, which is
Pretty cats.
Ergo, Mike. is it time to buy back into Ergo? It was like at $18 at one point when Cardano was at $3, and then it dumped all the way down to like $1.50. And I mean, I wasn't really buying it anymore, but um the thing about Ergo is it's like it's proof of work. So if the merge with Ethereum happens, people have to that are mining have to go somewhere else, and it's either like Raven Dex or not Raven Dex, but Raven Coin or Ergo or Ethereum Classic or something. But I think like the narrative for Ergo is starting to, you know, show up, and like we're seeing people buy into it again. So I'm just curious, like, do you think it's a good time to buy back in? It's it's still at like $3. Um, it's still not even in the top 200. So like, I think if you want like a long shot, something you could like 100x on, which is like a very rare opportunity, but it's also like super high risk. Like it's rare that it's going to pan out that way. But I think it's a good play, like buy a small bag, not financial advice. What do you think?
I'm a holder of Ergo. Um, I've always been a fan of the Ergo and the potential for when Ethereum was going to move to proof of stake.
Stay.
And I think it's a great play. I mean, Ergo's tech compared to any other proof of work is like bar none the best. I think, I mean, it has smart contracts. It has a stable coin. It has Erg. It has like Sigma USD already, so you can trade in and out of Ergo and keep your if you need some type of stable coin, it has that for you, so you can jump in and out of trades. It has the beginnings of a really awesome DApp collection and some interesting like casino apps and stuff like that, and um I mean a lot more stuff. I haven't really kept myself updated with what's going on there, but I've always been a fan of what they're doing. I think on the back end with Cardano wrote a paper recently where they're trying to create a consensus mechanism where you'll have the benefits of proof of stake and the benefits of proof of work together. So you have the best of both worlds, and whatever else, what other consensus mechanisms come along as well. They're just trying to make an amalgamation of them all of them together eventually and update that to their system. So I think the long play here is Ergo. I think it's way undervalued, and I think a percentage of Ethereum miners are going to come over to Ergo. They just see a lot of potential, and I think they're just doing it as a cash grab for now. But I think once they're there and they start learning about the space, they're going to become like diehards. Like if they have a phenomenal community, I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. I just think it's way underpriced. I think everyone should have some exposure to it. I definitely don't
Yeah.
have enough, but that's more about me,
Yeah.
diversifying into another ecosystem where it's like uh, I want proof of work, but do I pick Bitcoin or do I pick Ergo? That's kind of my question. And as time goes along, I'm almost more tempted to just put more of my Bitcoin holdings into Ergo because of the potential of smart contracts. They just have a lot more going on than Bitcoin, where it's like the use case for Bitcoin is store of value and that's it. And anytime anybody tries to create anything on top of Bitcoin, you get the Bitcoin maxis trying to murder them, and it's like
Yeah.
it really makes you disillusioned with the Bitcoin community. Like they really eat their own. And so if you want a proof of work chain that has like smart contracts and a very open community, very cool community, I think Ergo's the way to go.
Yeah. I think it's good that they've continued to build through the bear market and they're not like just disappearing, Like a
Right.
lot of these smaller projects just tend to disappear and they're just like, well, I guess that's not I guess they don't exist anymore. But I think they're doing a good job with development and I'm sure it's hard when you're like losing all of your net worth if it's in like you're a developer in this ecosystem and it's just like lost 90% of value or something. Um so yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there again. And I did see a comment on our YouTube, Mike. Someone wanted us to talk about Ergo NFTs. So at some point we should talk about those. But I think the community is still like so small that it's hard to like if you buy them now, you're buying like the OG NFTs, right? But
Right.
I think when the ecosystem gets bigger, it'll be like a more interesting discussion. So I think we'll wait a little bit to talk about that, but I do want to tease it. But what another thing we could talk about is just getting back to Cardano. Um, the top 5 projects on Cardano that with the upcoming Vasil Hardfork upgrade we'll start to see some new projects take over. So we can discuss some of those, Mike.
Yeah, I think a lot of projects are waiting for that Vasil Hardfork. If you're keeping up to date with um, a certain project called Liquid Finance.
Yeah, Mike, we're talking about peer-to-peer lending, 9 times yield, I believe. Some of the
Nine
things that
times
are
yield.
very cool about liquid finance.
Yeah, and the summary here is Liquid is a decentralized non-custodial liquidity protocol for lending and borrowing with liquid staking on Cardano. That's very huge, Eric. There's not many protocols that have liquid staking. Cardano is one of those.
Don't
The
tell
liquid
Mark Cuban that.
protocols, yeah, right. Let's not go back into that. Some more VC FUD. Um, the liquid protocols, algorithmic money markets, and on-chain government smart contracts are written in Plutus and efficiently leverage the power of EU UTXO model to minimize congestion deterministically. Basically, you can supply and earn interest on Cardano native assets. You have liquid staking allows ADA suppliers to earn staking rewards and interest, borrow against collateral perpetually. Peer-to-pool borrowing removes the need for lenders to fund individual loans, which is pretty sweet. Participate in community governance to update protocol parameters. This is going to be pretty incredible when it goes live. I think basically it's done. If you've been keeping up with the updates, the technical status updates.
I think it's a good play. And I mean it was all the way up to like 100 and something ADA. It was pretty crazy to watch it. I think it started out at like I don't even know, like 20 ADA or something,
Yeah.
and then it just like skyrocketed, and it was very interesting to watch.
And now it's come down
So
to a more reasonable 54 ADA,
yeah,
which is still pretty incredible. I think that's very high still. The diluted market cap would be 1.14 billion ADA. The total supply is
wow.
21 million. The pooled ADA right now is 1.59 million. So there's a lot of room to grow here. I think the thing
What are we
is
looking
with
at?
what's that?
What is this website you're showing me?
This is Tap Tools. This the charts for native assets on Cardano. This is built for
I did
Cardano
not
tokens.
know of this. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Li- Little alpha.
Little alpha for you guys out there. If you haven't played around with tap tools, check it out. I believe they do token drops as well. So if you want to get in on that, um,
Played around with a different tap tool, but it's not a
ayo.
website. But ayo. Anyway,
Uh, I think this has a lot of potential. I mean, you definitely will see it go back. Once this thing goes live, it will definitely go back to its all time high. And that's just for starters. Money market accounts are huge. When people can borrow and lend, it opens up a new feature for Cardano where, if you need a loan or if you want to give people a loan and you earn interest on your loan, I mean, it's a great way to make money. It's another way to invest. And you just need the speed that Vasil will bring with that. And I think with this team and their developers on board, it's just really cutting edge. And 9 times for your stake data is insane. I mean, there's
yeah,
only 21 million total supply. It's just going to be a great. It's going to be a great asset. I'm really looking forward to that one.
it's one of those rare ones that's not just like completely inflationary. It has a
Right,
reason to hold on to it.
right. It's
Um,
good. Right, exactly. Like, and that's why you've seen it held its value at 54 ADA. I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere near where it started, which was what, like
yeah,
12 ADA. So,
yeah, something like. But there's only
um,
180,000 or something coins out there. So when their website goes live, they're going to start releasing more. So you might see some downward price action, but like in the beginning,
right.
just an FYI, just because of the release of so many tokens.
ADA Finance is a fully decentralized lending and borrowing protocol backed with NFTs and built on Cardano's blockchain. So, very interesting. Uh, this is their app. So basically, you come in here, connect your wallet, and boom, Eric, you have markets, your dashboard, staking, governance. So let's see how this is different from liquid finance. Simply put, ADA is a crypto assets lending platform. The smart contract allows users to deposit assets and collect interest or borrow assets and perform financial actions. So it's very similar to liquid finance. It's going to be one of those things where it's just like, what user interface do you like better? Who has more liquidity? Who has better returns? And so that's going
Which
to
one
be
has
kind
a
of
better
fun.
name?
Which one is a better name?
Liquid.
uh, so I guess they did Ethereum tokens first.
Oh, okay.
ADA is an
They're
automated
one of
market
those.
maker, yeah, protocol that enables users to lend and borrow cryptocurrencies in a trustless manner. There's a wide variety of cryptocurrencies that you can utilize on the platform with the addition of the Cardano ERC20 converter. ADA will bring a must-have functionality to DeFi ecosystem. I don't love this name either, Eric, because it's like, I don't like the idea that it sounds exactly like ADA. Like, how do you even say it? Do you say
I think it's
ADA?
AADA. I think so. Which is just
It's not
sounds
great.
like you have a stutter.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Indeed, the Cardano ERC20
ADA.
converter uh, will bring a massive influx of assets to the cheaper to transact Cardano blockchain. The converter will allow issuing organizations and the users to handle ERC token migration to Cardano. Moreover, users will convert their Ethereum tokens in just a few clicks. When moved across, these tokens will be translated into a unique native token on Cardano that has the same value and works just like an ERC20. So that'll be nice too, because you'll be able to bring in that liquidity from Ethereum over to Cardano and borrow against that, or lend it out. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing like wrapped Ethereum tokens can come over this way. So that's I guess that's one difference that Ada has from Liquid. We could check out their chart. So very different.
Yeah. Mm.
So
I guess
I
people
think it's
just
like
don't,
40 million.
they just forgot about it. But, I was reading, like, it seems like it's closer to releasing than Liquid Finance, like, they don't
Is it?
need to wait for the hard fork. So, maybe they'll get the first mover advantage on that one. I will probably use both of them just to compare and contrast. Um, but yeah, I've never done any lending or anything like that, so might be a fun way to make money, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, especially in a bear market, the optionality to like if you have $1,000 to lend it out and get some type of return, maybe 10%. I mean, that's honestly like the best way to make money. That's kind of safe, and especially if a lot of, these protocols are vetted, they've been taking this long to get built. It's a great option.
What about indigo?
Let's get
What
into
is
indigo
this?
air.
We all know it's a color,
Indigo's a color,
but
and that's all we know about it.
very mysterious.
It's a money market as well, but they are using synthetic assets. So synthetic
Hmm.
assets are cryptocurrency derivatives that resemble traditional derivatives, tracking the price of an underlying asset, but are far more composable, accessible, and verifiable as transactions processed on a public blockchain. So, for example, we can lock up some collateral to create a synthetic asset called IBTC that has the same value as Bitcoin on the blockchain without having any real Bitcoin in the first place. This gives users exposure to a variety of assets without the need to actually own the underlying asset. These assets can be anything that has value in the real world. With its transparency, efficiency, low barriers to entry, and decentralized traits, the blockchain can smoothly deliver all these assets to anyone with the access to the internet. Synthetic assets can also be used as a Lego piece in a wider DeFi ecosystem, helping create and maintain massive markets and applications that rely on them. So, for example, we can create a synthetic asset to the US dollar that can be used in a fiat lending protocol. So, this is a different way to uh, kind of have a money market and trade assets where they're kind of on the back end doing all the tech for you. And then you can have, I mean, they can honestly make any asset. So if they want to do like a copy of like the S&P 500, you can buy like Apple stock on Indigo, right? Where it like follows that price and you buy that Apple stock, but you don't have to use the legacy
Fidelity
fidelity,
routing
right?
group.
Um,
Interesting. I like that idea.
yeah, it's like I think I forgot what Ethereum application does that already, but it gets weird because it's technically illegal to do that. So I don't know if people in the United States are going to be able to participate in Indigo protocol. And if you do use a VPN, not financial advice. Uh,
Not
but
criminal advice.
I'm very curious to see if this is going to work because connecting this stuff to the real world markets and having it follow price at that pace, and then also like being able to get paid on that stuff on the back end is going to be very interesting. I believe they're using the Charlie 3 Oracle to get their data from. Um, so if this works, you also might want to invest into Charlie 3, not financial advice, as a smart chain Oracle. If that's where they're getting all their data from, they might be using Chainlink as well. I'm not sure. Um, but it's definitely it has a lot of potential, and I'm very excited about it. I don't think they have a token yet, or I don't even think they need one because they'll be using synthetic assets for everything.
That's very weird. I don't know how to visualize that, but or how that would even work, but it seems interesting. Like, wouldn't you need a copy of every asset?
Well, so when you think about assets, it's basically just liquidity that you're locking up. So if an Amazon stock share is worth $5, let's say, then you just need to come up with $5 in the back end, right? And follow that movement.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, yeah, I'm not
What if there's like a short squeeze or something, and then
exactly. This
like
is where
but
it gets very tricky. Yeah. I mean,
guess
it's
you gotta
it's
have a lot of
very
money.
yeah. You're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have to have a lot of liquidity locked up for these things to be working correctly. That's why a lot of these are waiting for the Vasil Hardfork to come out because you just need pure speed to connect these things. You can't have any hiccups because if a short squeeze happens or who knows what else. I mean, there's so many risky things that can happen where you have that arbitrage, right? Where let's say you have a share that's worth $5 and it goes up to 10 real quick. Um, and your Oracle doesn't update correctly and it's stuck at, 5 and the price is at 20, like you're getting screwed.
Yeah.
Very
Do you know
interesting.
when that
I
one
might
comes
hold
out?
off on that one. Huh?
Do you know when that one comes out?
I believe
Comes
they're
out?
waiting for the Vasil hard fork as well. So we haven't gotten a date on that. I just watched the video yesterday. Um, I put out a tweet as well. I called it. I'm guessing beginning of like middle of September somewhere. And I said, like, if something happens, like, I mean, maybe the first week of October. But I mean, they seem
Yeah.
like they really want this thing. I think they have like one more update that they need. Our next project that we're looking into for Vasil is Maladex. It's a research-driven Cardano DEX, accelerating the world's transition to a fair and efficient financial system for everybody. Research designed and built by traditional finance veterans, quants, and Haskell natives. Um, They're working on concurrency, capital efficiency, and a powerful and decentralized DEX. So if you did their ISPO initial stake offering, that ended a while ago. We haven't been getting a lot of updates from this team. This is one that has a lot of potential because like their white paper is so deep and like if you guys have the time, definitely check it out. It's great, very thorough, gets you excited. But at the same time, we haven't had any updates about what's going on. Um, if you've been following them on Twitter, they seem to be wanting to blame Cardano for not having the Vasil hard fork. And so it seems like they're waiting for that to come out so that they can release their app. I hope that's the case, but also I am a little hesitant because since December, they were supposed to release two NFTs just for fun. Like this has nothing to do with the application. And there was just a clusterfuck. Like twice they like pushed it back and pushed it back. They became Christmas NFTs, then they were supposed to be Valentine's NFTs in February, and neither of those ever got released. So that is a little bit
You can't even
worrisome.
do that.
I'm
I can
sorry.
put an NFT out, Mike.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how hard is it to put an NFT collection out? And it's like, you guys can't knock that out of the park. And I'm supposed to trust you on this really high advanced, like, DAX that you're building. Like, can I see how the screen, like, can I see your user interface? Can I see something? I mean, we've gotten
Yeah.
zilch. Like, I've looked at their Discord and they've gotten so much good faith. But at the same time, it's like, to me, at this point, it feels kind of like a cash grab because I am a little salty. I did stake with them for about 6 months to get those tokens, and I've not received anything. But that's the game we're
They're
playing,
just
Eric. I still have
they're just
hope.
posting memes in their
They're post
announcements.
they're posting memes. I have a lot of hope for them, but at this point, it's kind of like put up or shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a little weird to like not give updates, at
Like
least a
Liquid,
monthly
Liquid
update.
Finance gives you technical updates every single week about their code that they're building, their base. It's like, okay, cool, you guys are doing something, you're working. Maladex, what do you have to show? And it's like they're just more about writing like tradfi tales, which is like their little like blog about stories that about the traditional markets, which it's cool. It's like that's fine, but it's like you're supposed to be making an app here. I don't know.
Yeah. Mike, I got another one for
What
you.
you got for us, Eric?
Have you heard of Spectrum Dex?
I have not. Oh wait, I have. I have. I do know what you're talking about. This is uh
What is it, Mike?
this is Ergodex. They rebranded, correct?
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. I thought I was going to stump you on that one.
Ding ding ding.
Um, yeah, they just rebranded. I think today is the first time I've seen this new website. So Ergodex is now uh, Spectrum. And I guess the reason they did that is because they're going to be Cardano and Ergo. So they're like, we can't be Ergodex.
I totally get that.
Um,
I'm okay
yeah.
with it.
So I've used Ergodex a lot just for Ergo stuff. It's pretty good. It's a little bit laggy, but I don't know if that's just because their chain is like not fast in general. But um, I like it. I think the most interesting part of it will be being able to swap between ADA and Ergo, and then you'll be able
I
to have a stable coin you can use that isn't.
I can't wait for that. That's like I've just been
Yeah,
wanting that feature forever, just to be able to get a piece of action of the Ergo. Like I'm so done with centralized exchanges, and I've always wanted
yeah,
a way to just natively get into Ergo through Cardano. And you're telling me this is the way to do
yeah.
it?
It's such a pain in the ass. Yeah, because otherwise you have to go to like you have to go to a regular on ramp sex and then like transfer over to like CoinX or one of these other ones that has Ergo to buy Ergo, and it's like really annoying. But now you'll be able to have your ADA and you just swap it for Ergo through the this DEX, and then you can, if you feel like the market's going to dump, you could put it all into SIG USD, um, which is their stable coin, which has never depegged, Mike,
Love it.
um, which will be a nice feature until we get an actual Cardano stable coin. Um, they have charts. Uh, they have liquidity pools. It's your
And when
basic
does this
DEX,
come
but I
out?
think they're still waiting for the hard fork. They've had to push it back a few times because I guess they ran into issues. So they're gonna wait for the hard fork and then put out a test net. So it'll probably be a couple months at least. But it's still one to keep your eye out on, as I am an Ergo Maxi.
Love to see it.
Well, second to Cardano, of course. Um, so yeah, I think that's another one. I'm interested to see if they're gonna change the name of their token to like Spectrum coin or something. But
Mm-mm.
another another thing that happened today was the Clay token came out, Mike. I know we're both bullish on Clay, so they haven't airdropped the Clay tokens yet, but it's out there if you want to buy it on a Dex. Is it on this Tap Tools website yet?
Oh, you better believe it.
So right now
It's at point two.
it's only been out for like 8 hours. It had a big pump, and now it's going back down, which we always see with new tokens. Um, but if you look at something like Yummy, we probably saw the same thing. and then you start to see it level out, and then it starts, people start buying into it for a while, and then probably dump it if they're no longer interested. Um, but I think Clay has some utility that other tokens don't. They'll allow you to build on your plot in the metaverse. Um, so if you want to do that, you're gonna have to have Clay. So I think there is a reason to hold it, and Clay is one of the biggest Cardano communities, I think. So I got some, even though I'm gonna get airdropped some anyway, um, just to see where it goes. Uh, are you bullish on Clay, Mike?
I am. I am. I think this is a phenomenal team. I think they have a lot of things upcoming in the next 3 to 6 months, and I think you just kind of want exposure. It's a great way to get into the ecosystem if you can't afford a claymate or like a plot of land. I think just having some clay token exposure is a nice way to get a part of the ecosystem, and maybe just dollar cost average. I'm kind of excited to see if we get some yield farms going. That'd be very nice. That's like my
Yeah,
favorite way to get exposure to these tokens. I like to yield farm Yummy and like Maker token. Um, any like blue chip ecosystem on Cardano, I kind of want exposure to just because if Cardano succeeds, which I believe it will, everything that is a blue chip on top of it will have the potential to do like 100x. So, just being able to spread some of your money out and just being, having the option to just get a lot of these projects at these prices, like it's just like it might go down more, but the potential for these things
yeah.
to go 100x from here at the very least, like sometimes they go 1,000x. Like I've just seen it so many times watching Ethereum and that whole ecosystem grow. It's just like when it starts, it's like a wildfire. And just being able to just like have that much exposure to like this many great projects and this many great teams and being able to like research them and be like, this is like they have a lot of great Plutus engineers on their team. And then being able to buy the stuff that's cheap, like it's basically like a lottery ticket at this point. So not financial advice, but definitely like I'm definitely getting some exposure to this and just hanging on to it for a year. I mean, who knows what happens? I mean, you look at projects like Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is like the bluest of blue chips on Ethereum NFTs, and their ape token went to what, $23. So I'm not saying that Clay is going to go to $23, but I mean anywhere near
But
that,
Clay's
and
going to $23.
and that'll be the name of this video. And just being able to buy it at 2 cents is kind of insane, or not even 2 cents. It's like nothing. So I just think it's like the risk reward here is just too great to not try to get as much as you can and just play that game.
So for the thumbnail for this video, I want it to say Clay to $23, and then it's like socialistic thinking and the question marks. And I think that'll get tons of views, Mike.
It might, Eric.
Um uh yeah, it's these are all like lottery tickets, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't know which one is gonna take hold and take off, but it's like we're so early with the Cardano ecosystem. I mean, it might be like it doesn't even matter as long as you're in one, you're gonna like have a great time in the future. But
Right.
we have to hold through all the FUD and shit to get there and see like all these VCs fudding Cardano every day. But to me, that's more like it just makes me believe in it more because it's like, why would they go out of their way to talk shit about Cardano
Yep.
if they weren't threatened by it? So At this point, it's just kind of funny. Like, and then we turn it into like our own thing. Like,
Yeah.
I love that.
It's what the best part is too is like everything's on the internet and it's here forever. Like so when you have like Mark Cuban this last week talking shit about Cardano and saying, "Listen to me, Dogecoin is better," right? I'm saying that as Mark Cuban, and then at the end of the week, he is getting sued by the government for his position in Voyager. So he
Yeah,
like the federal government comes out and says this guy is a legitimate scammer in the space. Don't listen to him. So like now you go back and look at him when he says, "Guys, Dogecoin's better than Cardano." Like it's like thank you for that because he like they're basically telling you like don't listen to this guy, you know. And the same thing with like
yeah,
Mike Novogratz when he came out against, you know, and he was all about Lunaterra. And it's just like, thank you. Like they're just getting knocked like every single time. It's just like, you know, and
and
what's left standing? It's Cardano. It's
it's like
just
a
like
week later too.
it's so it's like the timing couldn't be any better, you know.
Yeah, um, yeah. And I made a tweet about Mark Cuban being into Voyager and like making fun of him. But and then the SEC did that, or I don't know who it was, if it was the SEC, but I think my tweet had a lot to do with it. That's
I
all I'm
think so
saying.
too. Shout out to the SEC.
Yeah, they're always on our side, those guys. Um, but yeah, what are you looking for going into next week? Are you minting anything? Is there anything exciting you're looking forward to? Or you're just staring at the charts for another week?
Um, yeah, there's nothing really on my radar next week, but in 2 weeks' time, I'm very excited about Jesus
Beta
too, Eric.
waifus. Oh,
Yeah, Jesus too. Jesus too is a sick freak, an NFT animation project from Jesse Moynihan, creator from Adventure Time and Midnight Gospel. Um, can you hear this?
yeah, it's very loud.
Jesus too.
Sorry.
I really like that
Uh,
one. The one that looks like a spider.
yeah, me too. Let's see if this guy.
Yeah, like
I think this
his
artwork's
artwork's
exceptional.
so crazy.
I've been
Yeah,
listening. I kind of want to get him on the podcast. Um,
Jesse.
Jesse, if you're listening, uh, let's get you on here. Have a conversation. This artwork's amazing. The way he's doing the rarity is very different. I was watching Cardano Thor's YouTube channel. Shout out to Cardano Thor. Um, but it's not like you look at a chart and you see that it's rare. It's like more subversive, and you have to do some other things behind the scenes to like figure it out, which is fun.
Mm,
And it makes it like I don't know which one's rare. It's more about your opinion. Um,
yeah.
but they're gonna be more like I guess he was saying like X-Men trading cards. If you ever did that in the '90s, he's like a '90s kid, so I'm really excited. And then he's gonna get Duncan Trussell. I'm a big fan of his podcast to do the voice
Oh
for the
yeah.
show. Um, and so the first mint will be 2,225. The price will be 80 ADA, and that'll be like I think August 24th. And then like the next every 2 months, there's going to be another release of 2,225 until I believe it's 10,000 altogether. But it leads up to him making the show. Like he's using the money to make the show, and there's some other fun stuff in there too. So I'm kind of excited for that.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks totally different than anything I've seen NFT wise.
Yeah, and it's more about making a TV show for him. He's like a straight up artist. He's not about the tech, but I think the more like he's kind of fallen in love with the community here in Cardano, and I think most creators figure that out when they come over. So who knows? It's just
Yeah.
the beginning, and it's more about the art than the tech side, which is okay, you know.
Yeah.
What about you? You got anything you're interested in?
Um, Not really. I'm just kind of I want to get in on that Jesus too as well, but I'm waiting for the Kong shrooms to see what's going on with that. Um, Kind of just waiting on existing projects that I'm already in, see where they're
Yeah,
going, and I'm just kind of interested in the overall market more so than NFT stuff at the moment. Um, Seems like all the NFTs are kind of like devaluing at the moment. Like even Clay and Chilled Kongs are like going down towards 2,000 ADA. So um, I don't know if that's because people think ADA is gonna like pump and then they want to have ADA. So it's interesting. So I don't know how many new projects I want to get in while that's kind of the overarching theme. Because I don't, just because something's new to me doesn't make it more valuable.
right.
So unless it's like a really good project or really good art or something that I like. But yeah, that's my current outlook.
That's your 2 ADA.
Yeah. So dumb.
That's good. That's gonna do it for us, guys. Thanks for tuning
all right,
in,
guys.
Remember to subscribe and smash that like button. Let us know how you're feeling in the comments, and have a great week.
See you next week.